Hey, this is Josh Snyder. Welcome back to SPFTT. Thank you for joining me for another episode, and I appreciate you tuning in. Today we're going to get right to the point once again. Here's a down-to-earth ideas, specifically 5 ideas of low-cost, higher-paying side hustles in 2020 that most of us have the ability to do. So if you're looking to make some extra money and would like to get some ideas, maybe this video will be insightful and with some different ideas that you can incorporate to be a little more financially free. Alrighty, 5 top, low-cost, higher-paying side hustles in 2020. These are things that I have used over the years, things that have been working for me, and things that I'm currently incorporating into my habits to make a little bit extra money and to bring my family and myself closer to complete financial freedom. So number 1, snow removal. Snow removal. If you have the ability to remove snow from sidewalks and there's snow in your area, at least seasonally, buy a $20 shovel, knock on a few doors, ask them if they want their sidewalk shoveled off, and you'll come away in a few hours with an extra $80 to $100. Easy. I'm just saying, at least around here. So as long as you're pretty sure the market's good for it, a lot of times if there's some older people that would like somebody else to do it and they don't want to go outside and do it themselves, they will pay somebody 10, 15, 20, 25 bucks to shovel off their sidewalk or their driveway or whatever the case may be. And it's not super hard work. You just got to know how to do it right to do a good job. Again, it's not rocket science. If you want to know a little bit more, I'll leave a link real quick right above about snow shoveling. It's a tutorial on how to snow shovel effectively if you've not done a whole lot of snow shoveling yourself. So snow shoveling. Now, if you cannot snow shovel, if your area is not an area that gets a lot of snow, if you're watching this in, I don't know, California, Texas, if it's not applicable, think of a low-cost skill that you have. For example, snow shoveling is a low-cost skill, so to speak. It's not a very high skill. I mean, most people can do it, but think of something that you're good at, that you don't have to put a lot of money into. Let me ask you this. Do you own a lawnmower? Do you own some sort of equipment, a chainsaw, or something of that nature that you use for personal use that you could market and see if anybody else in your area would like help with that tool? So if you have a lawnmower, you mow your own lawn, you're good at it, say, hey, I'd like to pick up some extra money. Let me know if you need your lawn mowed. I'll give you a good deal. Put up some flyers, knock on a few doors. That's where I started. And you will be surprised at what kind of extra money is just out there for the taking, so to speak. With a little bit of work, a little bit of equipment, you can make some extra money in this kind of work. So number two, house cleanings. Kind of falls back to some of the extra ideas from number 1, but I want to specifically say house cleanings because a lot of people don't have time to clean their house at least the way that they would like to, some detailed cleaning, and it doesn't take much to do it. Maybe a few dollars here and there to buy some spray or whatever, but a lot of times the people have their own equipment like vacuum cleaners and rags and hot water and things like that as long as you're available and would like to clean their house, they'll pay you $30, $35 an hour to come over and clean their house. Maybe after you get off your 9 to 5, or it's just an extra thing to add to your small business. House cleanings, from what I'm seeing, has been a very effective way to make some extra money. Number three, and this is one of my favorites, flipping, buying, and reselling. Flipping or buying and reselling essentially is just taking things that are worth quite a bit, finding them in places where people are just getting rid of them, like Facebook Market. I have a whole video on buying and selling online. I'll throw the link up above. But Facebook Market, yard sales, man, you can find some stellar deals at yard sales. Now you can get ripped off at yard sales, but you can find some amazing deals. You just got to know what you're looking for. Let's see here, thrift stores, eBay. You can find some great deals on products where people are trying to get rid of them and they don't really know how much they're worth, or they're not trying to make money on it, which is fine. That gives you the advantage to take that, and after you've done a little bit of research on eBay or Amazon, again, check out that video that I listed, that link up there if you want to know a little bit more about how to research for these things so you can properly buy and resell. If you do a little bit of research, you should be able to take those items that you buy and resell them for closer to market value and make some extra cash. Now I'm just gonna be honest with you. This in January, it was a slow month. I needed a little bit of extra money, so I found certain things to invest in, so to speak. And currently I'm running a challenge where I'm trying to see how much money I can accumulate by buying and reselling for 6 months, and then to come out with a whole video about that here in a little bit. Stay tuned for that. But anyway, in January alone, I made just $500 just buying and reselling. That's profit. That's not including what it costs to buy certain items, but after reselling them, the profits from that was about $500 in January 2020 alone. Do a little bit more research and consider getting into a little bit of buying and reselling. It's a huge market. A lot of people are trying to do it, and so advertise well, be respectable, be honorable, be honest. Try buying and selling and reselling used products, and I'm sure you'll make quite a bit of extra money if you really are trying to put your mind to doing a good job. Again, I'm going to clarify this before I get on to the last two. I'd like to clarify this. Don't set out on any of these things if you plan on just halfway doing it. If you want to make some extra money, but you don't want to put the time or effort into it, stop watching this video now. It takes time. It takes commitment to do anything well, even if it's a side hustle. You need to do it well to present quality work so that people aren't just hiring you one time and then saying, nah, I got somebody else to do it the next time. If you want to, especially if you want to maintain or start a business of some sort in any of these areas. So that brings me to my fourth one. Here's one that I actually started and added to my business full time: carpet cleaning. Now a lot of you do not own a professional carpet cleaner, and that's okay. I didn't either. But what I did to experiment in this area here over the last few years is I've rented equipment from our local retail places here, Rug Doctor specifically. Most of the time you can find Rug Doctors or Bissell rental areas at your local grocery store, your hardware stores. They'll rent these professional carpet cleaners out, and you can rent that for 30, 40, 50 bucks for a day or 2 days or whatever it is, and make sure, I want to clarify this, if you're going to rent that, make sure you have jobs lined up, or make sure you're going to do something with it. Don't just rent it and then be like, hey, I have a carpet cleaner for the next 2 days, please hire me. No. If you're going to actually do well with it, you need to know how to use it. So the first thing I do is rent it, do your own carpets, clean your own carpets, or clean somebody else's carpets after doing a little bit of research, and say, hey, I'm going to charge you a third of the price or half the price that I would charge anybody else, because I'm in the growing stage of trying to do well at carpet cleaning. And there's a lot, I'm just going to say, there's a lot of extra money in carpet cleaning, even if you're just renting. Now, eventually I got to the point where I bought my own equipment. I now have my own equipment, so I don't have to rent anymore. And if you maintain a high enough clientele base, or start up something bigger than you thought it would be, it's not a bad thing to invest in your own equipment. But rent it until you know you can do it properly, and until you know that there's definitely demand, and you'll make lots of extra money. That's why I ended up buying my own equipment. There was enough demand in my area for carpet cleanings, especially at the beginning of the springtime. So we're coming up on spring here kind of soon. So if you want to start learning how to use carpet cleaning equipment now, hey, it's a good time to start. Good time to start. Go rent some equipment, clean your own house, try it out, make sure you understand the basics of it, and then, hey, put a Facebook thing out and say, hey, anybody need their carpets cleaned? I'll charge really low prices to do so, because I'm learning and growing. But even at those low prices, that's like, I charged for like a 15 by 20 carpet. That's 50, 60, 70, sometimes more on certain carpets. And the rental was only 35, 40 bucks. You line up a handful of those for a day or two's worth of work, and that rental is only 30, 40 bucks, and you've got $300 or $400 worth of carpet cleaning in 2 or 3 days. Man, that's a pretty good money over time, especially for just a side hustle or to do something after work. I did that for a while. I clean carpets after I get off work here and there over the years. Number 5, and here's the most important one. You may not agree with me on it, but I'm going to explain why. So number 5 Get on a written budget. Get on a written budget. Well, that's not a side hustle. Hear me out real quick. If you write your things out, you are way more likely to keep track of what is coming in and going out. If you write out what you can spend, what you've allotted to everything that you spend on. After you've overviewed what is going in and out of your bank account, consider taking some things out that are lower priority that you don't use or don't need in any way, shape, or form. If you don't control your money, it will control you. And so, I hope I've given you some ideas today. I hope that you're seeking to be more financially free. I appreciate you joining me once again. Leave your comments, your suggestions, your thoughts of maybe different endeavors you set out on to make some extra money and to be more financially free. Thanks again for joining me. Have a great day, and tune in next time for another video of Snyderpro's flips, tricks, and tips.
But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint.